Okay, I extracted that from the wood behind the target to the left of the target. That was the last shot I took. Actually, correction. The last shot I took was without a tip. It was just the arrow shaft itself with no arrowhead, and that buried itself into the target, which is cool. Um, but we'll show all that here shortly. And it is extremely windy out and only about 35 degrees real feel, so I'm good for today, but we'll be back either tomorrow or Tuesday and get some more good weather shooting in. Okay, this being the arrow, you can see what I'm saying about a little bit of the differences in the front of the fletching there, that one especially off to that side and there. Coming up a little bit, you could tell there's a little bit of a clearance there. And of course, that probably a piece of my skin on one of them. Yeah, so that's really where the problem is, and I'll look to rectify that. And I've got this black marker because this was my sacrificial one. I still have 5 good ones, and everything's good to go. Okay, I did today's shooting with the Deer Seeker Turkish horse bow. This is a 60 pound, and I was at 20 yards plus change. Uh, I used the flu arrow, which is pretty much damaged, and the fletchings are starting to come off in the front, and I got 2 big scratches right here from it. Bled pretty good. These are some of the things that in archery you'll go through. Depending upon the situation, you'll get calluses and cuts all through here, and you'll have to take pieces of plastic out of your skin. You can see that from the fletchings. Sometimes it just all depends. Due to the fact that when they hit something solid like that piece of wood back there, they'll vibrate. A great amount of shock will come back up through the arrow shaft, and sometimes the knock will just pop right off because of the force of the vibration. It'll just squeeze it right off, like you would tube of toothpaste. Squeeze it and shoots out or comes out really fast. But in this sense, the entire knock falls off, or it'll come halfway out, and you got to push it back in or tap it back in or however you do it. But in this case, the fletchings, they start to peel back in the front. And there's no real tape protection right there. It's probably something that I would look into, getting some arrows like that for the longer range with the ability to um, have some protection when you want to use them multiple times at distance shooting, say 30, 40 yards. True, you're not going to hit your target every single time, especially in this wind or in a similar situation where you have to shoot through the shade, the shadows or the shade, and you're shooting through a cold spot, hot spot, cold spot, hot spot. It's going to make the arrow wiggle a little funky, and you're going to have variations in impact. So that's something you have to look at. It's the same thing with long range shooting with 338 La Puma Magnum 50 BMG. You're going to go through 2,000 yards of hot spots, cold spots, warm pockets, cold pockets, a breeze here but not there. So, depending upon how far you're shooting with whatever tool or instrument you're using, you're going to have variations in how the projectile, arrow, whatever, impacts those areas as it goes to the target. So when you look at these, that which are considered better at longer ranges because of their fletchings, 4 fletchings, very tall fletchings, then you have to look at what happens in between the baseline where you shoot and the target in which you want the arrow to impact on. So that being said, this did really well compared to when I first strung it and had some variations in the twist of the limb. I think I've corrected that. So far, so good. Um, and I'm going to take this out in a couple days, if not tomorrow, depending upon what happens with weather and any other anomalies that may arise. So I'm going to shoot this again. I'm going to try and take it to a longer range and go from there. So you guys have a groovy rest of your day, and we'll see you again probably in the next couple days.